Hey guys, Josh Culler here, the host of the Good Success Podcast. Hey, I'm just dropping in here to let you know that we are giving a free book away. Yes, a free book called Active Turnkey, The Best Way to Buy Rentals by Tom Olson himself, the president of Good Success. Yes, I did say we are giving it away for free. All you got to do is go to goodsuccess.com/ATKbook. Again, that's goodsuccess.com/ATKbook. as an active turnkey. And we're going to cover the book. So we're going to actually pay for the book and give it to you for free. We're just asking you to cover shipping costs, which is very minimal compared to the value that you're going to be getting in the book. So if you are interested in learning how to create financial freedom with real estate, go get your copy now. Again, that is goodsuccess.com/ATKbook. Thank you for listening to the Good Success Podcast, and I hope you enjoy this episode. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Good Success Podcast. I'm your host, Josh Culler, and we got Tom Olson, president of Good Success, sitting right here next to me. And we have a little bit of a different format for you guys today. I think we're gonna call this the Community Go-Giver Spotlight.
I love it.
So
yes.
Most of you guys know that we actually have a Community Go-Giver event.
Josh just came up with that. He just came up with that.
I actually did it.
Yes.
Man, you're so cool. I did not even come up with that. That was you, man. Man, I appreciate it though.
Man, Josh,
it wasn't my idea.
I was giving you props.
He was giving me props, trying to make me feel good, but
right.
We all know that it was Tom. So anyway, but you guys know that we have a Community Go-Giver event that's yearly. So our next event is June 26, 27, 28. And basically it's spotlighting community go-givers and kind of teaching people how we're achieving our vision of flipping the entire city of Gary. So I'm going to have Tom talk about that in just a second, but we have Nicole and Valerie from Listing Leaders with us. So if you guys are with Listing Leaders, hey, how you doing? It's good to see you.
Hey, Kevin,
hey
Justin,
yeah,
hey,
exactly. So,
hey, Carl.
So we got these guys on,
Chuck.
And they are doing some incredible things with what they're calling Listing Leaders Gives Back. So they're using their business and leveraging that as a tool to create a higher purpose and achieve good success, what we're all about. So we're going to come back around to them in just a second to get into that. And I think we have some really cool things that we're going to talk about here. So we do have a couple announcements. First thing is the Active Turnkey book, The Best Way to Buy Rentals. We're giving this away for free. I'm going to keep this away from Tom because he always likes to steal it. But I have a lot that are sitting out there in case he takes this one. But we're giving these away for free. All you got to do is go to goodsuccess.com/ATKbook. And there's coloring pages, there's pop-ups, there's connected dots. There's a lot of things that you can do in here. It's pretty cool. I colored that.
Look at that.
I actually sketched
right
that
there.
out. So if you're listening on the podcast, there's a picture of Tom in here. I sketched it out and colored it.
This is
Does it look
pretty
pretty good?
colored right here in the back.
Yeah, that one.
Color by numbers.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yeah, good point there. But so we're giving this away for free. All you gotta do is go to goodsuccess.com/ATKbook. ATK is an active turnkey, and pick up the book there. All we're doing is asking you to cover shipping costs, and Tom's gonna pay for the actual book. So that's the deal we have. I made that deal with Tom. He doesn't like it, but we have to do it. So you guys go pick that up, take advantage of that. We don't have a lot available, really. I mean, we already sent out a big bulk of them, so make sure you guys take advantage of that. And then we have our Good Success Mastermind coming up November 8, 9, and 10 in Miami, Florida. We do have a activity that's going to be the night before, so November 7th, we're actually taking a private boat out on the ocean, which is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have a Good Success party.
Party boat.
A Good Success party boat.
And you know what happens on the boat instantly goes on Facebook.
Last time I said stays on the boat, and I said Facebook, so... We even talked about, I think with Mark, we actually talked about collecting the phones.
Yes, we might need to have a phone basket for that event, so we'll see.
Man,
but it's going to be a lot of fun, a great networking time to be able to relax with high elite real estate investors from around the country that are doing tons of deals and in a little bit more relaxed setting, so you're not sitting and focused, on a presenter for the whole day. So we're super excited about having a bunch of fun in Miami, and that'll be in November. And if you're up here, it's about time to start thinking about how to get out of here.
It's about that time. Yeah, so absolutely.
We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, so you guys can learn more about that at goodsuccess.com/mastermind. We do have you fill out an application, so we don't let just anybody in. We want to make sure that it's going to work out for both us and you, that we're not wasting each other's time. So, and then once you fill out the application, you're going to talk to either myself or Tom, and we'll get you into the event. So it's an exciting time. Make sure you guys check that out and take advantage of that. So goodsuccess.com/mastermind. And then the Community Go-Giver event, we already have early bird pricing going on right now. Yep. So I did mention it at the beginning of the podcast. It is going to be June 26, 27, 28. You can go to communitygogiver.com to sign up for the early bird special. Save a couple $100.
Yep.
I mean, it's totally worth it. We had Mark Jackson on the other day, and he talked about he was at our first event, which was in July of this year, and actually brought a couple of guests, and he absolutely loved it. And we're going to have these guys there this year. They already committed right before we started the podcast. So
yes.
you guys are...
Absolutely.
We have it recorded too, so it's rolling.
So Listing Leaders Gives Back will be here. So if you like this podcast and you like to hear and more people that are doing... They're working with their hands, a thing which is good, so they can have to give to those in need, which is what I'm promoting at the Good Success Go Giver event, the Community Go Giver event, showcasing how we are doing that in our local community, how I'm flipping the entire city of Gary. Right now, we're seeing houses sell for $100,000 in Tolleson. You guys know that? $100,000 in Gary right now. So that's happening. It's going to happen. It's happening right now. Lake County, Indiana we're already seeing like at least 1,200 more jobs just were announced last week from the governor and some things that were already put in place. So it's happening. So if you want to come be a part of Flipping Gary, come be a part of the Community Go Giver event, and also let us show you how we're having an impact on our community and how you can do it in either by helping us, by helping list a company like Listing Leaders Gives Back, or by doing it in your own community.
Absolutely. So you guys can check out communitygogiver.com to learn more about that and to sign up for early bird pricing and save a couple $100. And then if you guys already, make sure you have subscribed to the Good Success Podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, and several other platforms. Just go to the platform, look up Good Success, and you'll find us there. We have some awesome interviews of some great people that we've had.
Josh, how do you remember all that?
I don't know.
Can you guys say that?
I have a routine.
That is like a mouthful.
After 140 episodes,
I'm like,
you kind of get
Apple Play, Spotify, YouTube, Stitcher. I don't know.
I had to get used to saying Apple Podcasts because it's not iTunes anymore.
That's true. Now it's
Apple. They're like, it's
Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah,
so they're weird about that.
And just so you guys know, we don't even have a script. He doesn't have anything he's reading. I don't know how he does it.
No teleprompter, nothing. Well, like I said, after 140 episodes, you're like, you got it locked down, man. So it's all good. So make sure you guys go subscribe, and if you can leave a review on the platform, I know some of them don't allow you. If you can leave a review on the platform, leave a review for us, and we would love that. So let's go ahead and get into this interview today. Again, this is a little bit of a different format, but I am very excited about this. So Nicole, Valerie, if you guys could do us an introduction, so a brief introduction of who you guys are. So we'll start with Nicole here, and let's hold back on the Listing Leaders Gives Back right now. We're going to get into that in just a second, just who you are and how you're affiliated with Listing Leaders.
My name is Nicole Pleasant. I've been with Listing Leaders for 1.5 years now, a real estate agent, and that's about it. I'm from Portage, Indiana.
Sweet. All right.
My name is Valerie Downs. I've been with Listing Leaders about the same time, 1.5 years. I more so work in the office and basically do all the processing and anything else that needs to be done in the office. Kayla and I do that together. We manage 117 agents now and manage all the files and cutting checks, anything that has to do with the office. But I'm also a mother of 3, wife. Proud wife of my husband, Bill Downs.
Awesome.
Shout out to him. But anyway, happy to be here. Thank
awesome.
you.
And then can you guys give us a little bit of a rundown of what Listing Leaders does? Obviously, you guys are real estate agents, so I know that we work with them pretty often. So you guys give us a brief rundown of what Listing Leaders is.
So Listing Leaders, we really do change real estate forever. I think we do HUD. Let's see, we do everything. We do. Mm-hmm. We have a commercial division headed up by Justin Bergeron. Mm-hmm. We have a new real
Justin.
estate. Who doesn't? We have a new real estate school opening up in October
1st.
Awesome.
Yep. With Justin will also
Justin
be heading
is
up.
the director of
Well,
that
tell us a little
with
bit
Rick
about that.
Larson. We have a few spots left.
We do.
Okay.
Yes,
Actually,
so
we're filling up for this class. But actually, ours, I think, is going to be a little more unique than most real estate schools. It's a real estate school and training. So most real estate schools will prepare you for just passing the state test. Mm-hmm. And in my experience, even in my class, if you ask a question outside of that, they're like, we're just here to help you pass the test. Like, they don't answer.
Awesome.
But in our school, Justin's going to be doing some training, sales training, and
Right.
kind of prepare you for the world of real estate.
So when you pass your test, you can actually step into the role. And that is the biggest frustration is once you have this beautiful license in the state of Indiana, you say, now what?
Right.
But
Right.
there's-
How do I actually put it on the MLS? How do I actually like? What's the next step? And how do I
Exactly.
get clients? And all that stuff?
Exactly.
That's awesome. You guys are doing that. I hope you guys are charging more for that than you guys normally would. And if they're not, they're going to be soon because I'm going to make them. But yeah, that's a tremendous value you guys are offering.
But there are a
That's
few
awesome.
spots open still
Yep.
for this October. It'll be held in the evenings, Tuesday.
I'm not sure the days. I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but evenings 3
Evening
You
hours.
guys have a
For now.
website for that?
I don't know if it's on the website yet, but you can contact Justin Bergeron. His phone number, can I give that out over?
You can give it out if he's okay with it. If he's okay
Sorry,
with it.
Justin. There goes your phone number. Everybody's going to have it.
2,000 people.
Yeah, if you want to get in contact with Justin regarding the school, his phone number is 312-502-3737.
Awesome.
And where is the school actually located again?
At our central office in Maryville,
Maryville,
5061 East 81st Avenue.
So Lake or Porter County, if you want to be able to come to Maryville, like that's the school that I'd tell you to go to.
It's going to be
Absolutely.
amazing. And he's also the director of our commercial division. So if you have commercial properties that you want to lease or sell, give us a call. We do everything. HUD Homes, real estate. If you want to buy or sell, give us a call. We do everything.
Okay, awesome.
I have a couple personal
Yeah,
things.
no, go ahead.
So I have worked with Nicole personally on many deals, and I have been thoroughly impressed with her. I actually just told Kevin, so all the other listing leaders that might hate me now, but I told Kevin that Nicole and Justin were by far like other than Kevin's amazing. Like, Kevin, I love you, man. But like, other than Kevin, like, I love working with every single person, but Nicole and Justin just take it to another level, and just love working with them. And it's something else that's really personal. I didn't even know this. Like, I'd been working with Nicole for a while, and she used to work with my mom at the hospital. So like, there's a personal connection that I didn't really know. I'd been working with her for a while, and I saw her actually post something on my mom's Facebook page one day, and then I said something, and then somehow she put it together, and it was like, hey, I didn't even know that. So
12 years I worked with her at Munster Community Hospital. I've been a nurse for 22 years. So that's a little bit of my background.
All right, awesome. So if you guys could give us a brief overview about Listing Leaders Gives Back, that would be fantastic. So just, I guess, don't go too deep into like what you guys have done, but what the overview is. So the elevator pitch, what is Listing Leaders Gives Back all about?
Well, I think we created this with just the idea of getting involved in our communities and giving back. With the success that Listing Leaders has had, we've grown really fast. We've had a lot of opportunities. We have a lot of resources at our fingertips. We think it's really important to use that as a platform to give back to the communities. I mean, without our community, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't have the success we have.
Right, and when you say community, we're specifically talking about Northwest Indiana.
Correct.
For now,
So,
yes. We could get bigger one day.
Right, exactly. But the point is that, Northwest Indiana has Gary, Indiana in it, which is one of the,
Yes.
that's where our office is.
It's a great
That's where
need.
we're hosting the Community Go-Giver event. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we go from Whiting, Hammond, East Chicago, Gary, all the way down to Lowell, Rensselaer, clear east to LaPorte counties, Couts, Knox, and we've recently opened Michigan, the state of Michigan, a Listing Leaders up there, and we're heading to Illinois soon. So we're everywhere.
Okay. And then, so what have you guys specifically done for, like, with Listing Leaders Gives Back? So I know you guys were talking about, before we got onto the podcast, you guys were talking about some projects that you were doing. So can you talk about, I think you said you've done 3 of them so far. So can you guys talk about those 3 and what you have done?
Absolutely. So we're still new. I mean, we just kind of got this going recently in the last few months. So the first project was
we had a need for a family promise homeless shelter that's coming to Portage, Indiana, and they came to my Portage Tri-Kappa event asking for assistance, and they needed items for the day home. So we put it out there. Anyone that had computers, printers, things like that, anything that you would need to be able to find a home, get a job, things like that. Not so much clothing, because we don't know who will all be housed there. So we all got together, and printers, laptops, we received cookware, things like that for them to get through their day. And then the second one we did was the Marines.
Yeah. There's a woman who was collecting stuff for deployed Marines to put together care packages for the men overseas. And women, men and women fighting for our country. So we collected quite a bit for that. I mean, that was a short amount of time. We kind of found out about it in a week's time. We were able to
pull our resources
a lot.
Yes.
So that was something we were very proud of, very excited, happy to help the men and women who, who fight for our freedom. So, and then our most recent project was a home for a dear friend of Nicole's.
And he is suffering from cancer, and he is unable to physically clean up his yard in areas. The brush was a little bit, too overgrown.
A little bit?
Yeah, it was a
lot.
lot. It was. And unfortunately, it's right in downtown area, Crown Point, and a lot of people walk past it to get to the square. It is very close. And I think that it affected the neighborhood around him. And so we decided to pull our resources and pick
Grab
a
our
Saturday
tools.
morning.
Yeah.
All of the tools and
Grab our
rakes and
gloves and tools and just hit it, and it looks like a whole new home now.
It does.
And we're so happy. He said he drove right past it, didn't notice his
recognize
home.
it.
So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you guys are literally using listing leaders as the platform for you guys to be able to do these projects.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how are you guys raising funds for the actual projects? Like, is it profited from the deals that you guys are doing, or do you ask for funds, or how can if somebody's listening, how can they get involved with actually helping out with us?
Well, so far we haven't raised any funds. We've just kind of put in ourselves whatever any money that we need to put into it, we put into it.
So you guys are doing that personally?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is something that I think we might do in the future, raising money for different causes. But at this moment, just the early stages, I don't want to get money involved yet. I just kind of just want to just give wherever we can.
Yeah, so everybody has time, talent, or treasure.
Exactly.
And right now they're just looking at time, and then the other networks they have. So I love this because they're not necessarily even locked down to a specific need. They're not locked down to only helping people with landscaping. You're not locked down with only helping. You're just looking. So you're using what God's giving you every single day to look and say, oh, there's a community I need to serve.
Oh, wait, what do we call that though?
What's that?
Stewardship.
Stewardship. Yeah. So
There you
when
go.
they're taking,
we talked about that with Pedro.
God's given them opportunities, and they're looking for people to help. And so it takes a little bit of an extra effort every single time they find a new person to help, because they have to be looking on the other side. Mm-hmm. Who can I help with this? And then they're coming back to their network and saying, "Hey, come help us, guys." And you guys are being leaders in that. It's listing leaders, so I think it's awesome because you are a leader in that. Like, you're leading people to actually help other people, and I think that it represents listing leaders very well, but it also represents what we call good success, work to have to give, and the whole reason why they're in existence is not just to make money. When we chase money, it's like chasing our shadow. Like, you'll never get to your shadow, but if you chase the light. And that light is that giving. And that light is that, how can I help somebody? How can I? Before we started talking, you guys said we want to have a better impact, a bigger impact. So they changed a little bit what they were doing to try to have a bigger impact, instead of just maybe helping on your own. You said, let's put this on Listing Leaders platform. So I think that's awesome.
Yeah. So go a little deeper with that. Why did you guys even decide to start doing this? First of all, whose idea was it?
It was ours
kind of
together.
just talked together. Yeah,
okay, so why did you guys want to go forward with doing this stuff?
Well, Nicole and I think we're very similar. We both just have a natural giving spirit. I mean, we want to make an impact and a difference in people's lives. We want to make people smile. Nicole's amazing. This girl, from the moment I met her, she's made me smile every time I see her. And I think that we just kind of bounce off each other. And just one day we were talking about just different things we can do to get involved, and it just kind of evolved from there.
And I think it's also building our family, because we both have young children, and we want them to realize life is bigger than just us. Mm-hmm. And the fact that I'm blessed enough to be able to do this kind of work every day, it truly is a blessing. And even when I was in nursing, right, I've always wanted to help people. This just takes it to another level that maybe in not Nicole Pleasant. It's just humans that are helping other humans in this world, and just to be better. And I think that our children seeing us give and not receiving from it, I think that's a very important lesson to teach the young children today.
Absolutely.
I feel like it's important for them to get their hands dirty. I feel that it's important for them to see me work very hard, and then maybe give up something like my Sunday morning. Yes, we had to miss faith formation, but I do believe that we were still doing God's work. Absolutely. So at the same time, our teachers asked, why weren't you at the first day of class? And we explained to them why. And of course, it wasn't an issue. But, my kids are like, we have to go to class. I'm like, we're going to do something bigger today.
Right.
Just for today, and I think that they had fun. I think that they realized what hard work was. The next day and the day after, their muscles, and
Yeah, for sure.
yes.
Well, I think that we were created to do something so much more. I think that God created us to give to each other, and I think I'm a strong believer in God and everything, and the love that comes through that, and I think that's why God's given me a heart of love, and I think that that's just so much more important than money or anything that money can buy. Like you said, this is something we're able to do. If I'm able to do something, I need to do it. I think that's just kind of my calling. So.
And we were able, and my friend was not able, and we had 7 people that were willing and able, and we went and did it. And my kids are already asking me, when can we go paint a park? When can we do this? I mean, they're just as excited over this. And we had our last meeting where we were trying to decide what we're going to do for the fall. What's our next project? And we had so many ideas, and there's so many ways we can help. And so we're just voting on them and taking them one act at a time.
I think it's very interesting that you brought up yourself in this, and it's not to be selfish, but like at the end of the day, when you're done helping somebody, how does that make you feel?
Amazing. People were walking by the street when we were still working on it, and neighbors, strangers were like, oh my word, that looks amazing. What a great job. Just to see their reaction, and they had no personal interest in the property at all. This was neighbors. They could have been from blocks away.
Well, it gives you a sense of purpose, I think. Like I said, I feel like we're here for that reason. I don't feel like I'm here. And me in particular, I've always wanted to do something great with my life. And for a long time, I didn't even know what that was. I mean, I was a waitress for 16 years, and I fell into listing leaders, and I'm so lucky to have, a boss like Kevin. Like he has made me enjoy my job to the fullest and given us opportunities. And because of that, I'm grateful, and I just want to keep giving,
You made a very key statement that you said that you're here. You kind of were almost kind of like, well, this is for me. This may not be for anybody else, but for me, I feel like we were here for a purpose. For me, I feel like I'm here to give or to find somebody to give to. But in my opinion, I think we're all meant for greatness. We are all meant to have a purpose, whether that's to help somebody in China or help somebody in your local community, or, for some people, I know people that have children with disabilities, and their whole life has to be built for that. That's the purpose that God's given them.
Yes.
So don't take that as just them. It's not just certain people. Everything in life changes when you stop thinking it's everybody else's job to make a difference. It is your job to make a difference. It's my job to make a difference. That's kind of when I kind of came to the realization that I need to flip the city of Gary, because God gave me that heart to do something for those people. A good friend of mine, Eddie Wilson, talks about everything changed for him in his life when he stopped thinking it was the church's job to evangelize the world. It was his job to evangelize the world. So he created a nonprofit to help in his way that he's been given to be able to do that. So I think that's awesome. One more thing I want to come back to, that thing about yourself. Another thing we don't realize is we're doing it for the purpose to change everybody else's lives, but when we go and do it, what it really changes, it has a bigger effect on ourselves more than it does anybody else. We become a better person. We become a better steward of everything. Your kids now you're leaving a legacy to your kids now so much greater than you could have possibly done if you just would have given them an extra toy that day or given them something. So I think this is amazing. I appreciate you guys for everything you guys are doing. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud to just know you guys. But next time you guys do something like that, please let us know. I don't think I knew about any of those, so let us know. We can also send this out on our communities and see if we can get some more help for you as well. You guys also might want to hook up with Josh. We'll probably talk about Josh in another episode at some point, but he actually has a nonprofit called Hope and Strength locally here, so it may be something in the Christmas time you guys may be interested in, maybe not, but he does goes out to a bunch of orphanages, and we every single Christmas we go out and give care gifts to the homeless in Gary and in Chicago, and Josh heads that up. He's been doing that for 4 years now.
Wow.
This will be the 5th year.
5th year,
So it's
really cool.
Yeah.
That's like
It is
totally
awesome.
right here.
Well,
It's awesome. So
I think one big thing I was going to add to that, and I got one more question, which will segue into future plans for this for you guys. For me, because when Tom says you have time, talent, and treasure, like, I think people default to when you're giving, it's money.
Yeah,
like that's what it feels like to me. It doesn't have to be.
Right.
Let me be clear about something. When I started the Hope and we'll talk about it. When I started the Hope and Strength Project, I had $4 in my bank account. Like, I was broke. This was before I met Tom. So, like, I didn't have all this. That my mindset was shifted, but I knew that I had to do something about this because I think what really inspired me was going to downtown Chicago. Me and Gabby weren't dating yet. We were friends, and so we went to downtown Chicago for the Christmas before I started it. And I just remember seeing all these homeless people and like everybody walking by, not doing anything about it. And then I was like, wait a minute, I'm not doing anything about it. And so I was like, well, if I expect anybody else to do something about it, I should do something about it. So I took responsibility. We went to one of the candy shops and got a bunch of goodies and stuff like that, water bottles and all this other stuff. And I took it down. We just got a bag together and just started handing it out to everybody. And I was like, I could do something with this. And it was really just like, it's like Eddie said, the realization of it's not the church's responsibility anymore to evangelize the world, it's mine. Mm-hmm. When you take full responsibility of something like that, you guys are searching out for opportunities, and like that's the initiative that you're taking, and then going to actually do something about it is big, instead of just expecting somebody else to do something about it. Yes. Which is the same concept as us doing the whole flipping Gary.
Yeah. Because
we can't just sit back and expect others to do it. We may want to do it, but if we expect somebody else to do it, it may not ever get done. And that may be the reason why God put us on this earth.
And honestly, like, I see I've been trying to actually like get local in Gary and even like get in their Facebook groups that talk about Gary. And there's so many people that want to blame the government. They're relying on the government to make all this change. And I'm like, I every time I'll catch them and be like, you know what? Everything. I'll just say that, making that statement. Like. Everything changes when we stop thinking it's the government's job to take care of our city or take care of our communities. It's our job.
Yep.
And as real estate investors, like if you're listening and you're a real estate investor and you guys are listing leaders, like you guys are realtors, like real estate is like physical locations, right? Like so it's kind of our responsibility to change that landscape if we really have something to say about it. So awesome stuff. That was a really good conversation. So that kind of segues into future plans. What do you guys have? I know that one of your initiatives is to look for opportunities, but do you guys have anything that's coming down the pipe? Or
we just voted on this week.
Yeah, we came up with a few great ideas, I think, and we came together and we decided we're going to do a Thanksgiving project, putting together care baskets, enough to feed a family of 4, and we're gonna we haven't worked out the details yet, but we plan to pick up families, go to churches or, the Salvation Army, they have a list of people who are in need, and designate each basket to each family. And we'd like to personally deliver it to them, but again, we don't have the details yet. We don't know if that's going to be an option, But just things, even just kind of put our own twist on it, decorations, things like that, little things that you can enjoy that, maybe people who are in need, they're just happy to have food, or happy to have socks, but maybe throw in a little extra basic, needs or fun things too.
And we're going to deliver it the week before Thanksgiving. That way, if they do get a free meal from their local school or food pantry, that they still have an option. And we were looking into gift cards from our local grocery stores for the fresh fruit, vegetables, and meats if they chose meat, instead of actually putting a turkey in a basket.
Right.
Just because obviously allergies.
Not everybody eats turkey.
Exactly. And maybe not everyone has the oven to cook the turkey in. We don't know. So we're trying to look into that. That way they have more autonomy to go to the store and buy what they need.
Absolutely.
So, that's definitely the next project. But we're going to have baskets and bins and stuff in our office that we'll always be collecting for the food pantry. Even the one here, or not here, we're in Gary, in Maryville, it's local to us because our central office is in Maryville. That food pantry alone, I was looking into that and just the statistics. 1 in 7 people suffer from hunger in the area that they serve. 1 in 5 children suffer from hunger, and so that's something that we can always be collecting stuff. So we're going to keep bins and always be collecting stuff. Any perishable items and things like that from our own agents, from anyone else that might come in and see that is a drop off, and we'll always be taking it over there. So and to other pantries, not just that one. So
awesome, cool. Is there any way, I know that you guys are doing this, is there any way that people can get involved in what you guys are doing?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Go to our
I know you gave Justin's phone number.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can feel free to call. You can call the office. I'm always at the office Monday through Friday, 462-LIST-5478. You can get in contact with us on Facebook. Me, Valerie Downs, or Nicole Pleasant.
Yes.
Even if you're not a listing leader, I mean, the idea is to give back, so we're happy to have anybody who wants to give with us.
Well, it could even be if they have an opportunity, that they're like, hey,
yes.
I think you guys could help out with this situation.
Yeah.
That would
Absolutely.
be huge too.
We would love that. I mean, anywhere where there's a need, we want to be. So
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, good stuff. So I just got a couple quick questions that we kind of round off the show with. We typically do that for our normal interviews, but I also want to do it here because it applies. So good success means a lot to us. It's obviously why we chose it. It comes out of the Bible, Joshua 1:8, and so it kind of talks about the type of success as opposed to the quantity.
Yes.
So it means something to us. What do you guys, when you hear the term good success, what does that, like, what pops into your head first thing of what that actually means?
Mm-hmm. I think to be, to have good integrity, to have faith, and to have people support you in what you're doing, whether it's business, family, a giving back situation. If we have the support, I already think we're a success because we already have doubled our numbers in the group that wants to help other people. So I consider that a success.
I think success, when I think of that term, I kind of just think happiness. I mean, my success is different from your success. To me, I mean, I could be doing nothing in your eyes, but to me, I'm successful because I'm happy and I'm fulfilling whatever purpose or whatever dreams I have, So when I hear good success, I just think it's different for each person. And, in our opinion, I think giving back is our success, whether it's just us two or a whole group of people. We'll keep doing this even if all the rest of the listing leaders were to drop out and be busy and couldn't have time. I mean, we're always going to make time to give back, whether we have $5 or $5,000 towards it, so.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I agree.
All right, so you guys got to leave our audience with one thing. So it could be a thought, it could be a quote, an idea, something like that. Just one thing that you got to leave the audience with.
For this.
It's okay because I want to know what the first thing that
right.
comes to your mind is. Could be inspirational, whatever.
Could be something you've learned.
Yeah, something you've learned.
Wow.
We all have the same 24 hours in a day.
Oh, that's a good one.
So
I like that.
make the best out of it.
Perfect, and that's awesome.
Absolutely.
We're gonna leave that there because that's
I
gonna
agree.
go. That's gonna go as a quote.
I couldn't go any better
That's going
than
on
that,
social.
so.
Thanks for the concept,
Social
by the way.
media, it's going to be all at the same point. Nicole Pleasant.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. So okay, awesome stuff. Well, I appreciate it, Tom. Anything else you want to add?
No, I just thank you guys so much for your time
Well,
coming in.
thank you
and
for
spending
having
some time
us.
for us. And like I said, if there's anything we can do to help, we obviously want to be helping our community any way we possibly can. So
Great.
Well, we thank you for all that you're doing for the community as well. That's amazing what you guys are doing around here. So
Awesome. So is the best way to get in contact with listing leaders on Facebook, or do you guys have a website people can go to?
does Listing Leaders Give Back have a website?
Not yet.
not a
have
public website yet.
Do you
But,
guys have a Facebook page at all?
we do have Listing
We have
Leaders
Listing
Facebook
Leaders.
page, but really that's more so run by Kevin. I would say if you want to get in contact with us, you probably contact directly me or Nicole. As of now, that is something that we should make. Listing Leaders gives a Facebook page, so that's something we can do shortly in the future here. So we can be looking for that as well.
Okay,
So.
and then we're gonna have everything.
An
that you
idea
guys...
happened right here, right now.
Yes,
Yeah, right,
thank you.
exactly. So, well, I got a couple thoughts for you guys when we're done. But that's any of the the phone numbers that we mentioned that you guys talked about, and then also we'll tag the Facebook page. So if you guys are on Facebook right now, you can check that out. Just go to the comments. We're linking that there. So we appreciate you guys being on the show today. Thank you for being our. I guess Ken Lacey. We had him on a few episodes ago, but we didn't really call that the Community Go Giver Spotlight yet. He's in that genre though, so but this is really our first set Community Go Giver Spotlight podcast. We're going to be looking to do possibly one a month, so that's what we talked about, possibly even more. So we appreciate you guys being on, and
We feel
we'll
honored.
have you back soon, hopefully with more projects
Yes.
that you guys
Hopefully.
have accomplished and everything, so that'll be cool. So
Awesome.
good luck to the both of you guys, and then let us know if we could do anything for you.
Thank
So,
you.
you.
We will.
Thank you so much for listening to this Good Success podcast episode. Make sure to subscribe to us. We're on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Anchor, or Spotify, any one of those platforms, however you like to listen to your podcast. Make sure you subscribe. And just a quick reminder to go pick up your free copy of the Active Turnkey book. It's absolutely free. Just cover the shipping costs and we'll pay for the book. Just head over to goodsuccess.com/ATK book. Again, that's goodsuccess.com/ATK book. And you can pick up the book there. So make sure you go do that. Thank you for listening. And remember to be a conduit, not a bucket.